So a quick recap for anybody who's new. Our autistic son has been to school for just 4 days in the last 18 months, and those 4 days were during February half term when I was off work at a different time to when he was off work, so I was able to take him. I'm a teacher, so normally when he's off, I'm off. When I'm at school, he's at school, so it's very difficult for me to take him. But for the next 5 days, we have this overlap thing again where he goes back to school today. I don't go back until a week today, so we have the opportunity to take him again. If we manage to do it every day, it will more than double the amount of time. He's been there pretty much since he's been at secondary school. He should be 2/3 of the way through year 8. In reality, he's done 1 term of secondary school. So the plan is to get him there today. We're not going to try and get him there for 9 o'clock because we'll get caught up in the rush. It will be far too stressful. We're also not going to be able to get him to agree to go straight there. We've had to he knows something's up. He remembers February. He's walking around the house at the moment saying no school, watch Frasier, because he remembers what was going on. The difference now though is that he's since then started medication. He's on 8 milligrams of Fluoxetine a day. He's only just gone up to 8. He was on 4 milligrams, and on 4 milligrams he was starting to cooperate. He went to his residential care that he doesn't normally like to go to, he usually refuses. He went there for 2 nights last week, week before, without any fuss at all. So we're hoping that that will transfer across to this, but that is a big hope. So the plan right now is as soon as it gets to sort of 8:45, 10 to 9ish, it's 8:25 now, so in about the next 15-20 minutes we're going to take him to the church. It's the one place he will always agree to go to. He really wants to go there. We've already told him that he's going and he's not kicking off about it yet. His clothes are still on, he's still downstairs. This is progress from where we were back in February. So in about 15-20 minutes time, we're going to get him in the car, take him to the church, and then fingers crossed, take him on to school. Bearing in mind, when we've done this in the past, he's been naked in the back of the car, he's been lying in the footwell, he's been lunging forward trying to grab the handbrake. If we can get in there without that happening, that's massive progress. But we'll see what happens. I guess we're obviously not going to film the really difficult bits, because if there's a time when I need to help Anna out with getting him to do something, then I'll be doing that rather than filming this. But we'll certainly bring you up to date with what's going on once we've done it, if we manage to do it. To the church. In other news, he's still fallen out with his DS, so he has nothing with him to film the church. And the door's closed. He's not going to kick off now, is he? Nah, he'll just go down there, have a look. He knows I'm filming it, so he knows he can watch it later when we're editing the vlog together, which he likes to sit over me and watch me do when we've been to places like this. So, fingers crossed, we'll be fine. It is 9:36. We're in the doctor's car park. Don't be alarmed by that. We're just trying to get doctor's appointments for ourselves. The fact that we're here as early as 9:36 shows how massively successful that just was though. That is the easiest it's ever been to get him to go anywhere, not just to school really. This medication is really doing the trick. We left the church before 9 probably. We were only there a few minutes. He literally just walked up to the door, saw it was locked, turned around, got back in the car. Again, you've seen on this channel in the past how he reacted pre-medication to church doors being locked. But this time just turned around, yeah, it's locked, who cares, I'm off. We got back in the car. Once we were moving again, we told him we were going to school. He wasn't happy about it, but there was no lunging for the handbrake, there was no screaming and shouting, there was no dropping down into the footwell. He unbuckled his seatbelt for like 10 seconds and put his head between ours to say no school, but we just said, yeah, we are going to school, then church, then home, which he didn't really agree to, but he sat back down and just sort of lied there grumbling for the rest of the journey to school. Once we got there, there was no battle getting him out of the car. When we were doing this back in February, there were a couple of days, I mean there was one day where I really hurt my back because I was basically dragging him out of the car from one end while the head teacher of the school was pushing him out from the other. There was nothing like that. Anna opened his door, said, right, come on, get out. he started to shuffle back towards the other door. I just went round and opened it, and then he moved back towards Anna and just got out of the car and just threw his arms around her neck, basically crying. But she carried him into the school. We were in there 3 or 4 minutes, waited until the crying stopped being real and started being fake, which is something he does because he knows it has an effect. But he wasn't upset anymore, he was just doing fake crying at that point. And then we left. We were here. We've actually spent longer here already than we spent at the school. And it just shows where the bottleneck of this whole system is and what stops everything working really, really smoothly. It's not the school, it's doctors. I know I moan about the NHS on here all the time, but I've just gone in, you know I've had my cough since Christmas, I've gone in and asked if there's any appointments at all over the next 7 days that I can have. The only times I've got are 9 AM on Thursday, 9 AM on Friday, which is no use to me at all because I'm driving him to school at those times. So for a 7-day period, there are 2 appointments free, they're both at the same time, and they would exclude anybody who has to be at work or has to be on the school run. So basically they have 2 appointments over a 7-day period that are only available if you're a pensioner, because everyone else can't do it, which is absolutely insane. Anna's in there because she needs a repeat prescription and lost the slip, so she's waiting at the dispensary. She took a ticket at the dispensary. She's number 46. I walked out when they called 33. There are 15 people waiting for the dispensary on a Tuesday morning, and all she needs is the repeat prescription slip. She can't even get the medication today. They'll give her the slip, which then goes to the doctor, which then comes back to the dispensary again, so she has to queue up again and get the slip again. Excellent. Okay, bye. She's still in the queue. Apparently some man's just stormed out, but we're getting Andy's medication on repeat as well while we're in there, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. We were told to wait a few days until the double prescription thing came through from his doctor, but we're about to run out, so we're going to get some more anyway. She's still waiting for ages. Apparently she's had a phone call from the school though. He's gone into his classroom, which he never did in February. The whole time he was in there in February, he just stayed in the safe space in a like a sensory tent thing with cushions and things in there with his DS, but because he's fallen out with his DS, he doesn't have it with him. And apparently he's gone into the classroom. If he's actually in a classroom, that's his first time in a classroom in a 1.5 years. And that is massive. So I hope that's actually what's happened. If we ever get away from the doctors, this is also going to be the first test of how hopefully the rest of my life will be. That plane is really inconvenient. I hope you can still hear me over it. But when we did this back in February, we had lots of other stuff on. We've got lots of other stuff on for the rest of this week. I also didn't have the studio set up in February, but now, once we get home, I'm going to bury myself in the studio and I'm not going to leave it. Other than coming out for lunch, I'm not going to leave it until about 2:30 when we have to go and pick him up from school. So for the first time ever, really, I've got a solid 4.5 hours of work time today, so we can see how much work I can actually get done in that solid, dedicated block of time, and then that will allow me to start planning a little bit better for realistically how many plates I can have spinning once we get to September. So, just need her to get out of the doctor's now. I'm starving, I've not eaten yet. Should have gone to McDonald's on the way home. Well, after a 25-minute wait, they won't give Anna her repeat prescription because she's overdue her medication review appointment. We explained that they don't have any appointments for her, and they said, well, you just have to book one. If you book an appointment, then I can give you the medication even though you're overdue. So book an appointment for a couple of weeks' time, and then we can give you the medication. So I said, okay, can we do that through you? No, we can't. You have to go over there to that desk to book an appointment, then come back here, get another ticket, and then I can give you the medication slip thing. I said, can you not just give us the slip, then we'll go and do that, you can watch us do it. And apparently no. At which point I started shouting and Anna sent me away, so she's still in there. We haven't asked, well, she hadn't asked for Andy's medication when I got sent away. This place is an absolute ridiculous joke. Don't ever move to Market Deeping in Lincolnshire because the health centre here is just ridiculous. I'm starting to think more and more that surely the whole NHS can't be like this. This place is just a joke and run by idiots. We'll have to see, I guess. Let me know down in the comments Are the doctors near you as bad as the doctors here, or are we just stuck with a really, really terrible medical practice? And apparently we also can't get Andy's medication because despite it being on a repeat prescription, it needs to be signed for, which we know about. We went to the doctor at Cams last week to ask for the medication. He told us to come here and get it, and they're now not letting us. I really need to go in there and shout, but I don't think Anna's going to let me. Am I allowed to go in there and shout? Well, how are we going to get the medication?
Apparently I'm coming back Friday.
Why Friday? What happens on Friday?
Signed off.
By who?
The GP.
Why does it have to wait until Friday? This place is ridiculous. Seriously, an awful shower of... I know I'm in the dark. I'm deliberately stood in the dark part of the studio. See, I am going to start calling it a studio. But I need to figure out this lighting the green screen adequately enough to be able to use it standing up issue. My solution, all the lights under the sun. If we bring you in here, this is where I'll be standing. And from this position, we have that light lighting the green screen, that light lighting me, the ring lights there, if it's needed. Hopefully it won't be. There's another softbox there for my face, another one there for the green screen. Oh goodness me, I've never been so well lit. I do have another softbox that I can put in front of me if need be, or behind me. But I'm hoping, I don't know, what do you think? I need an even green on that screen behind me when I'm standing here, without me casting a massive shadow, so that I can do the Lazy Students Guide stuff in front of this. Hopefully it will work. If you've got any suggestions for ways I can make it even more even, please let me know. Can't quite afford to have a strip of lighting across the ceiling, which obviously is what I really want long term. Don't think Anna will let me have that. If every day is like today, life is going to be good come July. Really productive morning / after. I forgot to have lunch, it's 2 o'clock. We're gonna go and pick Andy up in about 20 minutes, half an hour or so. There is a bagel toasting, don't worry, I'm not gonna starve. But I've recorded a Football Manager video. I've recorded the channel trailer for the Lazy Students Guide channel, and I've recorded the first video for the Lazy Students Guide channel. The channel trailer should be out today, so I'll link to it down in the description. Let me know what you think of it. I'm very much working on the done is better than perfect principle. I'm not 100% happy with it, but I've been trying to get this channel up and running for weeks. If I don't start releasing some content on it, I never will. So my theory is start getting some content out, get better as I go. It's how I've launched the other 2 channels. It's gonna have to be how I launch this one. It's not how I wanted to do it, but I'm realizing there's some stuff that I want to be able to do long term that I don't yet have the skill to do. Tying up music properly with speech, using graphics and stuff and backgrounds, and trying to get that green screen working properly is still a frustration. And despite having a diffuser over the ring light, I thought I'd solved the problem when I was looking at it on the little screen, but it does catch on my right eye at points during the video as well. But if I don't release that version, I'm never ever going to release it. I can always do a better channel trailer at some point in the future. So let me know either in the comments of this video or in the comments to that one what you think of the channel trailer. The first full video itself, which is going to be the 6 tools you need for a revision session, or I worded it better on the video itself. That'll probably be out Thursday or Friday. We're going to do weekly videos on that channel. I need to decide what day of the week is probably best. Probably going to be Friday. That's what day articles come out on the website at the moment. So probably just make that Lazy Students Guide day. So that first full proper video won't be out until towards the end of the week, and there is still some tweaks and things I need to work on with that. But we're actually starting to make some progress on Lazy Students Guide, so that's awesome. My bagel's probably toasted now. We need to go and get him soon too. What a great day! Success! He's actually produced his first piece of schoolwork in over a year. I mean, it's like he watched me set the camera up. Thank you. First piece of schoolwork produced in over a year. It's an A4 piece of paper with pictures of 4 different churches on it. It's found on the internet and cropped together on Microsoft Word. It might not sound like a lot. It's a lot when you haven't done any work for a year. We're now at the church on the way home. We've not been here since February, I don't think, when we were doing this before. It is, by my watch, 3 o'clock. By the clock on the church, 2 minutes to 3. He's expecting bells, so fingers crossed we're going to get some bells. I can't remember if this is the church that was running early on the bells or not. So I mean, he's just standing there waiting for bells. In fact, if we bring you around here, standing just there waiting for bells. I mean, that clock still says 1 minute to. So I mean, they are the quietest bells in the world, and the door's open as well, so it looks like he's going in. We've also, hold on, I know you're more interested in seeing him, but this is important, so we're going to focus on me for a minute. We've taken a massive, massive risk. He's got his paediatrician appointment in Grantham tomorrow. It's at 11:30, so he's only needs to be in school from 9:30 till 10:30, because then we're going to pick him up at 10:30 and take him through to Grantham. He loves going to Grantham. So we've taken a massive, massive risk in that we've told him school tomorrow, Grantham after school. If he decides he's not on board with that and refuses to go to school, he's kind of also refusing to go to Grantham because he knows that they're now linked. So it's going to be really difficult to get him to the paediatrician appointment if he decides that he doesn't like the idea of the whole thing. Usually, every time we've got him to school doing this previously, whether it's been today or back in February half term when we were doing this, every time we've done it, we've been leaving the house for something else. So it was, we're going to Grantham, but we would go to school on the way, or we're going to the church and then we go to school on the way home. This is a massive risk doing it this way. Fingers crossed it's going to work. Is that good?
Yeah.
You happy?
Yeah.
Did you have a good day at school?
Yeah.
As is tradition on these trips, we're now also going to do the crossing that he likes to do next to this church. The only reason I'm talking to you during this bit, dead bird apparently, you probably don't want to see that. The only reason I'm filming this bit is for my own use. I want to test how good this microphone is, because when we were doing this on the old camera with the onboard microphone, it was rubbish next to this road and you could barely hear what we were saying. But I'm wondering how good this road microphone that I've got on top of the camera is next to a busy road, which is why I'm just spinning around, changing the direction that the microphone's facing and continuing to talk. If it's good, I'll put it in the vlog. I'm intrigued. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the quality of the microphone. We're using the crossing now.
Camera time lapse.
Camera time lapse, I can manage camera time lapse. The boy asked for a time lapse, it really leaves me with no choice. When I've been planning how to fit everything in over the last couple of months, when this all happens full time from July, I totally forgot about this portion of time. It's only 3:15, we're home from school, he's gone up to bed. Don't even have to start making dinner for like an hour and a half. I can now edit all the stuff I made earlier. This is all coming together. If you've enjoyed that today, please make sure you pop a like on there for me, subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more, and you've got to see more this week. You've got to see if we manage to get him in every day, plus the outcome of all these appointments we've got for him. It's a big week. And thank you very much for watching.